Welcome to the Perfect Play Pursuit. It is I, Lukey CK, your host, coming back from the dead, coming alive, coming off of a plus $700 winning weekend. We're going to talk all about it. I'm operating off my mobile phone today, so no intro music, no outro music, no funny bells and whistles. We're going to just do the show with me holding my phone like this. I feel like the guy in The Punisher where he put the thing in his hand and he's like, 8 pounds isn't very much, but with an outstretched arm, it'll feel like 1,000, and then he like drops the grenade and he blows up. Like, I'm holding my phone out here. I don't know how long I'll be able to do this. Maybe I can set it. There we go. Welcome to the Perfect Play Pursuit. That feels much better. It really felt like I was doing a FaceTime with my uncle or something.
Yeah, but your mic is on the bottom of your phone, so it makes it a little hard to hear you.
How's it now?
I don't know, continue to talk maybe.
All right, how about now?
Better.
I'll be able to plug my headphones in. I'll be able to plug my headphones in a minute. I'm only on 17% battery life, so we're charging right now. But guys, welcome to Perfect Play Pursuit. If this episode is any indication of, I think it's more of an indication of how the last card went than how the next card's going to go. So coming off the heels of UFC Vancouver, guys, it feels like, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't want to do the show today. I didn't want to do the show yesterday. I don't really, it's becoming an ordeal to get through these fights. I mean, if I remember correctly, we had a situation where Jake Matthews submits Neil Magny. The ref stops it, and then they let the fight go on, and Jake Matthews loses. That ruined me in a lot of bets. Then we have a situation where I need my dude, Andrew Schultz. Who's the fighter? Vincente Luque versus, what's his name? Spanish guy. I can't think of his name.
I don't know.
Line.
I don't know. I got to think it over.
Vincente Luque fought Joel Alvarez. I didn't even need to type it. That's Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez gets multiple finishes, no finishes given. Vincente Luque calls his own foul. They bring in the doctor. So it's like, okay. And then this weekend, we have a situation where Kyle Nelson, we came on the show. We double P certified Kyle Nelson. And I'll be honest, I mean, like, do we need to talk about it? I mean, everybody who's watching this has watched what transpired with Dan Miragliotta stopping the fight with 3 seconds left, restarting the fight. I mean, it was crazy.
Insane. He stopped the fight, with time on the clock. The fight's over. There's no gray area here. He stopped the fight with 3 seconds remaining on the clock. The fight's over. No one was saved by the bell. He wasn't stopping it because of time, because guess what? If he did, he was wrong. And it was in a compromising situation for Homeboy. So, yeah, very, very bad. All the reffing is terrible. It's been horrible for a long time, but as of late, it seems exceptionally bad. It seems worse than it's ever been. It seems like it's not getting any better. It's only getting worse from here. I mean, you have the groin strikes that happen later in the evening. Those were also terrible situations. Kevin Holland, I'll say it, Kevin Holland was milking it. I'm just kidding. You never know what happens when it comes to balls. Balls are a very delicate situation, dealt with some ball issues myself over the years. And you never know what's going to send a ball getting pinched by a cup.
Well, wait, we're not even up to Kevin Holland yet, because we had a ball issue before that. We had a ball issue with Kyle Prepelec. So
exactly.
Me and Alex, all right, real quick, double P certified picks. Usari Belgarou won. Charles Jourdain won. Kyle Nelson won. Aben Zahabi won. Big underdog card. We had a few underdogs there for you, but couldn't get all of them.
I think I might have taken Cheeto, didn't I?
No, we both picked Aben Zahabi. But here's the thing. a lot of these fights, as the fight got closer, I changed my mind on. If you were checking the open bet sheet, you would have. But Kyle Prepolak, we came on here, we said he was going to beat Drew Dober. He's beating Drew Dober. He's beating Drew Dober on track to win a decision, gets kicked in the nuts harder than you've ever seen anybody get kicked in the nuts. And he fought on, he gets knocked out. Drew Dober given the requisite arrest. After that, it felt like a con job. It felt sketchy. It felt shady. It felt like Drew Dober did it on purpose. You know, personally, I'm out on Drew Dober. I'm out on Drew Dober at this point. I was never really in on him, to be honest with you guys. The smile, the haircut, the nice guy thing, don't buy it. I don't buy it. His shadow must be the size of the Empire State Building, because this guy is just, he's he's hiding something, in my opinion. So that proves it to me. Psycho shit, American Psycho shit. But yeah, and that ref handled it perfectly, keeping him up to date, took the point. And
Luke,
on why he didn't take the point at first, but did take the point. Yeah.
Luke, you're coming in a little choppy.
Yeah.
If
I'm choppy.
If there's any way you can stabilize your connection. I just looked at it on the stream too to make sure, but you're coming in a little choppy.
Yeah. Well, you talk.
Okay. I'll go for it. Yeah, so definitely the Propelek situation was absolutely horrible. Hated to see it. Looked like Propelek was really putting it on Drew Dober. Drew Dober kicks him in the nuts. And I mean, how many times do we see it? A guy gets kicked in the nuts really hard and then ends up getting finished shortly after. Propelek got kind of battered to the nuts. I would have liked him to just have them score the fight from that point. I thought he was winning personally. And, with Kevin Holland, it works. Beautiful. Beautiful. You're live and direct. And then the next ball situation with Kevin Holland, if it hurts that bad, then stop the fight and take the no contest early in the fight and just put us all out of our misery. But don't just sit here and get your balls kicked and then complain about your balls being kicked for the entire fight. You have a way out. And he was being vague as all get out, talking to the referees, or the doctors, they're like, do you want us to stop the fight? And he's like looking away, dodgy eyed, doesn't want to say yes, doesn't want to say no. And he just, it's classic Kevin Holland situation. Kevin Holland is, he's a guy who wants excuses. That's why he fights so often. He says he wants it for the money. He doesn't commit to going to 170 because he knows he won't reach the pinnacle. He has all these built-in excuses before he even fights. If anything like that happens throughout the fight, he's out of there. And
100%. Dude, 100%. I mean, that's a psychoanalysis that I can stand behind. Let's catch up on the comments real quick because I couldn't do it at the beginning of the show. We are live. Verhoofty Floofin. Great to see you, our Canadian friend. They're openly fixing fights now, boys. This is why I stopped betting MMA. What is crazier than the fight continuing is that the commission let it happen. Well, I mean, it's a Canadian commission. You guys don't get a lot of events up there. I mean, you got a commission that lets guys fight on the ice wearing knives attached to their feet. You know what I mean? And that's all well and good. So who's the lock this weekend? We'll get there, Manny. We'll get there. Good to have you here. Nasrat. I didn't even know who's fighting this weekend, guys. Just kidding. Of course, I've done all my research and I have notes.
But Luke, that's the thing.
Hold on. Sup, fellas? Andrew Kavanaugh. Good to see you. Yo, Nasrat.
I want to answer one of the comments, not just read them out loud like a fucking dunce. He's sitting here saying that the commission let it happen. The Canadian commission is one of the most corrupt commissions I've ever seen in my entire life. They will rig it any way to make their Canadian brethren and sister the favor in any fight. So they're not going to sit here and cause a stink because Kevin Holland got kicked in the nuts in the first minute. I mean,
they poisoned Nick Diaz and GSP didn't even make weight.
Yeah, 100%. Factual.
So Nasrat seems okay. We'll get there. Did well. Thanks. Good picks last card. You're welcome, Andrew. That's my favorite spot on the card, even over Aspinall. Odds was standing. Dirty Reg, how can you be out on Dober the way he finished the fight after the point deduction? Bro, because he got a break. You know what I mean? He was losing the fight, got a 5-minute break, and then rushed for a finish. I mean, in a fight that he needed to finish.
On a guy who
needed. A guy who got, dude, he got kicked in the nuts. It's like in Gladiator when they're about to send Russell Crowe out there and they stab him and poison him and punch him in the nuts. They're like, go ahead, now fight the Emperor. You know what I mean? It's like, you gotta, it's a game of inches already. Like, it's enough that Kyle Prepolek, as the biggest underdog on the card, was competitive and winning a close fight. That's like possibly all he had to make it that close. And then you kick him in the nuts. It's what's going to happen after that. I mean, it's scientifically proven. You get kicked in the nuts, it's like it will like change everything about your ability to like perform and be clutch and be masculine and have like testosterone. Like it instantly sends you into like a weakened like state. You know what I mean? Like it's not even, it's chemical, it's hormonal. VCR repairman, what's happening in the $1 Million Studio? My friend, we are back. We got it. We are not lagging anymore. And you can't handle a little chop to the nuts. Listen, and like Kyle Prepolek, way harder of a shot and put on way less of a performance than Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland performs when the going is going well. He's animated. He's doing a little. So how could it not? I mean, it's performative. It was janky. I mean, it was janky as all get out. Holland is a clown. We'll see him in 5 weeks. Holland was a letdown. I was talking to the commission about letting that fight continue.
Oh.
Okay, so we have 3 things we need to really discuss here. 4 things actually we need to really discuss here. So number 1 is there just needs to be a process, right? I mean, in every sport you have a process and you have what happens after the door closes, right? So meaning like, okay, in the NFL, let's say there's a penalty, right? And the officiators don't see it. And then the offense starts the next play and the next play happens. Door is closed now. There's no going back. You know what I mean? And that's called human error. And that might happen sometimes, right? What we don't want to have is too much where the NFL has it now, where, you know, you see, who was it in the Monday night game that got a sick catch? And I think it was my boy, that white boy who works too much, TJ Hawkinstall. He gets the ball and like his one finger comes off of it a little bit when it's like, that was a catch. We all thought it was a catch. Like it was a catch. And you're like nitpicking it with the replay to make it not a catch. It's like, that was never really supposed to be. Like, we're not looking to get the game dialed in that much. Like, we want it to be just generally like, you know what I mean? Fair, right? But anyway, so if you get kicked in the nuts and you take all 5 minutes, you have to continue when the 5 minutes are up. If you can't, and it's not a direct, like Dan Mergliotta, other refs, like Mark Goddard would have been like, are you ready to go? No, it's over. It's over then. You know what I mean? That's when you want a Mark Goddard in situations like that. But with Dan Mergliotta, he's always like, all right, hey, you good? Like he's like Mo Sislak, you know what I mean? He's just like the old guy behind the bar, like, hey, you know, he's way too nonchalant and casual. And sometimes you want that. Like, it's really hard to say because like all of their imperfections are tools to aid in your utility at certain times. Like, who wouldn't have rather had Dan Mergliotta in there than Mark Goddard when Alex Pereira is about to knock Israel Adesanya the fuck out? We would have loved to see Izzy go flat on his face. It would have been great to have Dan Mergliotta in there for that. But in situations like the Nelson Favola fight, you want, you know what I mean? You want Jason Herzog, who's going to let the fight go on for 10 seconds after the bell, you know? Like, they're all like their own little Pokemon. But listen, here's what should have happened. Oh, there were 3 seconds left. Oh, I stopped it too soon. Now, 2 things. This is a fork in the road. One fork is Dan Mergliotta just going, I didn't think I was stopping the fight, but nobody seems to have a problem with it. So let's just go with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he opens his big mouth. What? Fight's not over. He's going off. It's like everybody thought the fight was over except you. Okay. That's a problem. So then he continues the fight. And then, okay, Mark Ratner comes in on the mic. DC, everybody there. They had the camera crew ready to interview him in the octagon. You know what I mean? Like, they had to get... So shout out to the commentary team for talking about it. Shout out to the commentary team for acknowledging it. Mark Ratner for coming in and being like, yeah, it's ref error. It's a ref error, you know? So somebody should have stopped them in between rounds, told Dan McGrath there's 3 seconds left, round ref error or not, like you stopped the fight, preventing him from doing what he would have done in those 3 seconds, which may or may not have contributed to a decisive finish. We've seen it many times happen that way. And because of that, the fight is over. It's your error. Nobody thinks it's that egregious. Keep your damn mouth shut and we can just move on. But no, instead we have to do 2 more rounds. Everybody who bet under 2.5, everybody who bet Nelson by finish loses conveniently. I didn't. I just had Kyle Nelson. So I was a bit scared, you know what I mean? But overall, not that upset. But I can see how other people could have been upset. So that's what should have happened. Now, I'm less mad about that than, like, for example, somebody has to get fucked when the ref stops the fight 3 seconds before the round's actually over. Sometimes it's going to be Matt Frivola in that, hey, I stopped it and because I did that, now you lost. Or, hey, I stopped it and because of that, you didn't get your extra 3 seconds and now you run the risk of losing. So someone's getting screwed. But in that particular instance, it was like, we could have just swept it all under the rug and be like, yeah, no, like that was a good stoppage. You know what I mean? So that's why that one's a little bit of a weird one. But in cases where I'm more upset about is in cases where fighters call their own fouls. When a fighter literally says like, ow, I can't, no, stop. And the fight is stopped and then it wasn't a foul. It has to be over. It has to be over. That is the risk you have to run as a fighter calling your own fouls. You have to run the risk of being wrong. And if you're wrong, then that means that whatever he did to you that was not a foul made you stop the fight. So that means you tapped out. Doesn't matter if you thought it was this or you thought it was that. If you, it doesn't matter. You lose. So I'm more mad about the Vicente Luque situation than anything else. The Kevin Holland situation, I'm not really mad at anybody. I'm not mad at anybody. I think that Kevin Holland was trying to milk it and get more out of it. Or what if you get hit in the nuts twice, there should be a point deduction, whether it was intentional or not, right? There shouldn't be a disqualification, but here's the difference, right? So Kevin Holland gets hit in the nuts once, no foul, or no point deduction, gets grazed in the nuts the second time. We can't put ourselves in there and say, oh, it didn't look bad, right? So let's just assume that Kevin Holland was not lying, okay? The 5 minutes go by. He's not really asserting confidently that he's ready to continue. I think that is an opportunity to stop the fight and make it a no contest.
100%.
Kevin Holland should have just made it a no contest there by saying, like, I really can't continue. Then they go to the corner. Now we're in the Henry Cejudo Yadong Song situation. Now we're in that exact same situation where you returned to the fight for a little bit of the round, and now the round is over. Kind of my analogy with NFL. Ref misses a call, but the other team got the playoff right away before they could review it. Now, can't go back. So we are now operating under the information we have. You said you were good to fight. Now you're saying, maybe I can't. If you missed your window to say that. So now it has to just be a TKO victory, the same way Renier de Ritter lost for Kevin Holland, if you can't return. They bring the doctor in. When can you bring the doctor in? I mean, first of all, they should have brought the doctor in during the 5 minutes because now you're giving them 6 minutes, 7 minutes. You're giving them extra time, which isn't part of the process. So the doctors, it's not like, for example, if you get a cut from a legal blow and they're thinking about stopping the fight entirely because of that cut, and in between rounds, the doctor takes a look at it and you get a couple more extra 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute extra on top of your minute break because the doctor wants to take a look at it. That's okay to me because at the end of the day, the fighter
why is the doctor going in for a fucking groin strike? Is he taking a look under the hood? Like, why are they fucking bringing him in the first
Exactly.
place?
It's like, so what does exactly. Like the doctor's
he's got better intuition than the ref.
The doctor's going to ask him questions that help him determine if he's ready to fight. It's like he knows and he can say it. He's a grown man. You know what I mean? So when I had Mike Malott by knockout plus 900, I as a solo bet, I wish that Kevin Holland decided in between those rounds, I'm done. You know what I mean? And Mike Malott was not going for any sort of finish after that. You know what I mean? Because he's too Canadian, I'm sorry, and wanted to. He went for a submission, but he's not Drew Dober. You know what I mean? If he was Drew Dober, he could have got that knockout. You know. So here's my thing: the Kevin Holland's situation, I think Kevin literally just saw Kyle Propelek get a point taken away from Drew Dober because of, and I quote the ref on this, the severity of the foul. The only way you can determine severity of somebody's nutsack, like you said, they're not looking at it. The only way you can determine the severity is how long they take to recover. Now that is, again, a gray area in the rules where it's like, so now Kevin Holland sees that and he goes, okay, I got to take the whole 5 minutes so that they think it's more severe and I get a point. Right? That is, but it was a graze compared to a full-blown baseball bat. So you go like, the questions are unanswered. Are all fouls created equal? No. What is the scale we're going on? Our own eyes and ears. You know what I mean? There's no like, oh yeah, in the NFL, he was holding because of this. He was doing pass interference because of this. See how he didn't have full control of the ball? Like they can point to specific things, but there's nothing you can point to except your own opinion where it goes, yeah, that nut shot was worse than that nut shot. You know? Some things look really bad and aren't, and some things don't look really bad and are. That's just the facts. So,
yeah.
So that's my thing. I mean, real serious errors that cost people a lot of money and cost, just not the fighters themselves outcomes, cost the gamblers their money, cost us a satisfying outcome as fans. And guys, like, you got to be able to just have a process. And listen, errors are going to happen and mistakes are going to happen and misunderstandings are going to happen. But if you have a process, at least we can learn and evolve through that process. And at least your coaches can properly advise you. There really is a process, but guys are just, I guess, too close to the forest to see the trees to be able to know, hey, Henry, stay down. Hey, Kevin, stay down. And you'll get to know, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's like, well, I got to save the show. You didn't put on a show after that. So, and you know how I know Kevin was faking? Because Mike Malott, when he was going for that head and arm choke, he knee slices across his groin and Kevin didn't wince. So you're telling me it hurts to walk, but a guy shin slices across your groin to get into side control and that's fine? That's way worse. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But in lighter news, your Yusri Belgarui, amazing performance. Did you see him versus Asma Bekov?
Yeah, I watched every fight. They were great.
Great action in that one. You can tell he's been training with Pierre. You can tell he's been at that camp. He looks just like him getting up. It's amazing to see that guy out there, and I think he's got a bright future if he can continue to fight like that.
Thought it was a bit of an early stoppage, but because Bakayev didn't protest at all, like that's kind of what I base. Like if a guy's still on his feet but doesn't protest when the fight's over and slumps to the ground, good stoppage. If a guy's still on his feet and he goes instantly like Ian Cutelaba, what the hell are you doing? Then it's like, you know what I mean?
But Ian Cutelaba could be in a car accident and wake up in that fashion. Like I feel like Ian Cutelaba, every time he wakes up in the morning, he's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. So, I think the fight that was most disappointing for me was the Jasmine Judavicius fight. That's a fight I'd bet again. Her at plus 180 odds against Manon Fiorot coming off the Super Bowl hangover that is losing to Valentina Shevchenko. JJ in her home country with a wrestling advantage, with a grappling advantage. That was one I was a little bit like, man, I think if they ran that back, it would go differently. You know what I mean? Every single time almost. But whatever. Here's where I won real quickly. So I had watching Stephanie Luciano walk out against Ravina Oliveira, even though I picked Oliveira on this show, I instantly in my head go, oh, Stephanie Luciano is going to win and by finish. So I throw 100 on Stephanie Luciano to win by finish. 100 pays 510. Boom. Got that third fight of the night. Then I live bet Bruno Silva, even though I picked Hung Sung Park on the show. Boom, win another 100 there. Then I have a parlay that includes Dober by knockout. And then it has Charles Jourdain and Kyle Nelson. That was 100 that paid 648. But I hedged on Kyle Propelek because he was my pick on the show and he was doing so good and he was still an underdog that I backed a little bit of money up to him. So I would have won if he won too. But it ended up, I just hedged about 200 on it.
The first three bets I won were bets where I took the opposite pick that I had.
And then I did a hedge parlay because I had JJ in a parlay. It was Charles Jourdain and Jasmine Judavicius, $200 for $885. So I go, okay, Charles Jourdain wins. Now let me hedge a little bit on Manon Fiorot. Threw $48 on her to win 360. It was her, Sahabi, Malat, and RDR. So that kind of set me up to win $360 if RDR won, which made me go, okay, wait. I at this point, I had drank a few beers and I was feeling pretty different. And I go, okay, I want Ritter to win. I think next to nothing. I think nothing of Brendan Allen. And I think he's so stupid, and I think he's inconsistent, and him winning does nothing for this division, whereas if RDR wins, it makes the division so much more exciting. Now we have this guy on this win streak. We got RDR, we got Fluffy Hernandez, we got Hamza Chimaev, we got DDP, we got all these great middleweights. This is going to be great. And I'm like, yeah. And then I go, but RDR got rocked on the feet by Gerald Mershark III. And I go, And Bo Nickel kind of sucks. So Brendan Allen has the dumbness and the stopping power and the competence on the ground to keep this fight standing and knock RDR out. So I call Alex. I go, who's going to win this main event? He's like, RDR. I'm like, okay, Alex is definitely wrong. So it's Brendan Allen. But how? Brendan Allen by knockout. So I go, $100.
I don't think you called me.
I did. I go $100 on Brendan Allen by knockout to pay 600 or so. And then we cash on that when RDR does not come out to the fifth round. And thank God RDR won me that money, because Brendan Allen would have taken him down and laid on him for the whole fucking fifth round and not gone for the finish. You know what I mean? When Bilal Muhammad is telling you like to ground and pound him and finish him like he's breaking here, like you can win by finish, Bilal Muhammad is screaming in the corner like, you can win this by finish. The biggest advocate for a decision of all time is sitting there saying, dude, I'm just saying, like, you could get a finish here. I'm like, yeah, Bilal, tell him. And thank God RDR didn't answer the bell. So I'm not going to call him Ranier the quitter. I'm not going to call him anything. I'm just going to say, thank you. You're the man.
Yeah.
But wait, can I say one thing? I lose on Kevin Holland versus Wonder Boy when he does not answer the bell, quits on his stool, and loses. I win on Roman Doladeze when Kevin Holland does not answer the bell and quits on his stool. All I need Kevin Holland to do in that second round is not answer the bell and quit on his stool, something he's done twice before. And he, for whatever reason, wants to get out there with his 1.5 balls and fight on. Very surprised by that. So I don't know if that means that Kevin Holland is now, like, we were square when he did what he did, quitting on the stool. It was the karma was repaid. And then he goes out there and beats Gunny Nelson for me as an underdog, I believe. And that was another repayment he did for me. But now I think we're kind of back even on Kevin Holland, because now he didn't quit on his stool when I needed him to. So now it's kind of like he's -1 up with me right now. I need Kevin Holland to go get up to the positive again.
Yeah, Kevin Holland's the worst. Don't like him at all. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. But yeah, I just like, I can't stand Kevin Holland around every corner. I have two hot topics.
He was like our favorite guy.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. We broke bet on him like 10 fights into the UFC. Ironically enough, that was only 2 years. All we had to do was get to know him a little bit before they started putting a microphone in front of his mouth. Everybody loved him.
I mean, he's a textbook jobber. He's a jobber, and it's like, I can respect that, but I also will never bank on that. I got to bank on guys that have, bigger dreams, or and it's not even his fault, because he's appropriately compensated for the work that he does. He's content with the job he does. You know what I mean? It's like he's only going to fight to the degree that he needs to ensure he has a job tomorrow. Which is fine. It's fine. That's why I'm kind of completely neutral with Kevin Holland right now. I'm neutral.
Hot topics. Got to discuss them before we get into the next card. Moneyberg.
Dude, so, I've now watched Ronin MMA, his little pieces. I've watched Moneyberg. Today I watched the full hour of him interviewed on Ariel Helwani. And, my thing is, like, everybody who comes at Moneyberg for his black belt, they are a bunch of Star Wars nerds, Marvel comic universe nerds who have no understanding of like the totality and the zeitgeist of jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like, they don't understand that there are plenty of hobbyist jiu-jitsu guys who have a black belt and do not compete. That's number one. There are plenty of guys that do compete that have been given a black belt. For example, he goes, Hamza Chimaev had to get a UFC victory to get his black belt. Yeah. And what did, I don't know, Alex Pereira have to do? Knock out Yuri Prochazka? Like, there are so many guys who have in the UFC given their fighter a black belt after a fight that they won in the UFC that did not even go to the ground because they want, as coaches, to be in the spotlight, to award them and kind of brand them theirs so that they can go long after this fighter is retired. I gave a black belt to a UFC fighter, to a UFC champion, whatever it might be. And that is greedily and monetarily motivated, right? Just like they're accusing him of motivating monetarily and greedily his people, right? So that's number one. Number two is like, hey, if your hypothesis is correct and he is buying the black belt off these people, wouldn't they do what every other jiu-jitsu school professor does, which is make sure you delay it so you can keep the money coming? Because once you give them that black belt, it's kind of like, a lot of jiu-jitsu coaches, school owners will say like, yeah, you give a guy a blue belt, that's when you never see him again because they feel like they've gotten that. Okay, now I'm good. You know what I mean? So they're all confused. They're all idiots. And they're all coming at this guy because we in the MMA community just love somebody to hate. I mean, it reminds me of Diego Sanchez's coach, the great Josh Fabia. We just pick these guys every once in a while. We just pick somebody and we sacrifice them and we say, this is the guy we all hate now. And it's bullshit. I mean, it's utter bullshit. I'll wear the rash guard. Moneyberg, we're looking for sponsorships. There's no more hardcore fan than us, and we will have your back. And I will quite literally, I will attack for you. I will attack through the media, and I will say, no, you got it wrong, and I'll defend you because I think it's bullshit. I think, what did he do wrong, right? Like, you really think about it. So fighter pay. Nobody can tell you what Moneyberg has done wrong. Nobody can tell you that it goes all over the place. Well, he's a scammer. Well, he has a criminal record. Like, what was do you see the Errol Wani interview?
Yes, I watched it.
Straw man after straw man. Well, hey, what about your criminal past? Like, my criminal past when I was 17. Like, what are you talking about? Like, well, don't you think you're paying them? Because it's like, well, yeah, I paid the professors at the Chicago School of Business to give me a degree. Did I buy my degree? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you always have to pay somebody and then they teach
for
you.
A service in general.
And by the way, yeah, it's like the degree, just like the black belt, doesn't guarantee success. And it's straw man argument after straw man argument as to why this guy is the devil. This guy who, I'm sorry, aren't the fighters underpaid? Is he paying them and giving them advice as
fighters who don't really have a lot going on anymore in general?
Right, like, why are you so fucking mad? I just don't understand. It's like all these guys are so angry,
and he's continuing to pay them, and he's continuing to spend time with fighters and pay them and have them come on a show. Ariel's like, oh, I never pay anybody to come on my show.
If only Manpreet wasn't such a yellow belly coward, and we could have a super show. It could be it could be Manpreet, the most hated gambling guy, and Derek Moneyberg, the most hated financial advisor. And we could bring them both in, 4-man operation, and be like, you know what I mean? Like,
we would take over the world.
It'd be like the golden hour. we just get
it's like, oh, that's your takeaway?
It could be the biggest show.
Any of size.
Yeah, but I think it's bullshit. Anybody who's been to a jiu-jitsu class sees the older guys in the gym who have just put in time and get belts and aren't very good at jiu-jitsu, but continue to level up because they've been there for so long and they have a deep knowledge of the sport only by going 5 hours a week. You know what I mean?
They really think jiu-jitsu is magic. Like, they think it's magic because It's like, guys, it's a system.
And then hold on top of that, everybody who's like, yeah, he's tossing around Mikey Musumeci because Mikey Musumeci is 145 pounds when he fights. Well, he weighs more than that usually, right? He missed weight in one championship because he couldn't cut enough weight to get down to the weight class while continuing to be hydrated or some shit like that. I forget exactly what happened. But the whole point of jiu-jitsu is that the smaller guy can take on a bigger, untrained guy. That is the whole idea of jiu-jitsu. The whole entire Helio Gracie was too weak to do the judo, so he adapted the moves of judo to a Brazilian small man style and started, throwing bigger people around all the time. That's the whole point of jiu-jitsu. And you guys are going to sit here and be like, well, yeah, 270-pound man can throw around a 20-time world champion, Mikey Musumeci, defeating the whole magic that you believe about jiu-jitsu, that it works, that it's useful, that in a street fight, it will protect you. It will do none of those things.
Yeah. And VCR Merben, that I would have Kraus on. Forget Manpreet.
Never.
Kraus and Moneyberg.
Never.
Dude, we get Kraus and Moneyberg in the same room. James Kraus has like 150 doors. Talk about real estate. Talk about a tome of real estate. Like Kraus and Moneyberg. Kraus and Moneyberg sounds like a law firm, dude. That's what I need.
With all those guys, we could have like one of those shows
like the
with
damn Yankees.
With we could have one of those shows where they're like the Instagram thoughts that line up around, and I just sit there and I just undress them.
Whatever pod. Yeah.
And I just undress James Kraus the entire time. Like
you would look like you would look like a dog arguing with a horse talking to Kraus, buddy. All right. Kraus has achieved more in every facet.
Horses are afraid of dogs.
He's got more doors than you. He's got more fighters than you. He's got more gambling wins than you. Yeah.
Gambling wins.
Way more locks.
Oh man. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
honestly,
how are you going to shut all those doors without locks?
He got caught up in the insider trading of gambling. How pathetic that there even is that. Grow up, you bunch of fucking crybabies. The FBI. Yeah, grow up. a guy can't fucking act on a fucking instinct. I mean, the casinos sure as hell will fucking take your house, but Kraus can't fucking be like, yeah, that guy's got a hurt leg. I know it.
Yeah, the business founded by mafiosos is going to take a moral high ground. It's interesting.
The FBI, didn't you kill Martin Luther King? And now you're worried about Kraus. I'm like, why don't you go back to doing the country a disservice and leave Kraus alone? FBI. Federal fucking prison. Did he do a day in federal fucking prison? I want to know. I need the Kraus documentary immediately.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one for sure.
Some pencil neck dork with a tie sitting there like, and then we found out he had a Discord. Why don't you, go... Go arrest the cartel. How about that? Just worried about fucking James Krause's Discord. Yeah,
apparently Discord. Everybody just thinks Discord is for criminal activity now because app that people communicate on was communicated on, but by criminals at one time.
So worried about.
Is iMessage linked to criminal activity too? Sure, there's a lot of fucking people texting while they're committing crimes.
Yeah, you know what has a lot of criminal activity? 295, the road. It's a hotbed for criminals driving their cars up and back from Jersey to New York. So listen,
but yeah, Moneyberg's a hero. Anybody who's hating on him is a fucking loser and is jealous. I will say that they are jealous that they don't get to fucking roll around with Lyoto Machida.
Yeah, you know how much I paid Marcelo Garcia pert near 10,000. He didn't even give me a fucking stripe. So I'd much rather have taken that money and called up old Glover in Connecticut and gotten.
Didn't give you a roll. Didn't give you a stripe. Didn't give you anything. Didn't even look at you once. Waste of money.
Marcelo.
Waste of money.
I got a bone to pick with you. Marcelo, I'm boxing you, celebrity boxing.
No. He just got over cancer.
I forgot about that. Hey, we'll do it for charity.
Cancer charity. Specifically.
I'm just going to start I'm gonna start with first number one, New England Cartel guy.
Oh,
Timothy Olenaki. What's his name?
no.
What's his name? What's his name?
We're losing our fastball.
I like can't remember any names. I literally can't remember names at all. What is his name? Cartel, New England Cartel. The New England Cartel head coach. His name is Torolani. What's his name? What is his name? Dude, I can't even get close. Don't tell me. Calvin Cater, Rob Font, Coach Tyson Chartier. Coached by Tyson Chartier.
Oh my god.
I would love to celebrity box Tyson Chartier first as a warm-up fight.
Michael,
you know what? Maybe give me. I don't know. He might be good at boxing. I know Marcelo probably isn't. So we'll do Dylan Dennis in my corner, celebrity boxing, me versus Marcelo. I want every dollar I paid for my membership fees back. And $260 a month unlimited pass. Woo!
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Don't ask him what a private is.
Yeah,
absolutely. You want to talk about people charging for private?
And Moneyberg, you pay your jiu-jitsu coaches, guys. Newsflash, you're paying your jiu-jitsu coaches. If he gave, my coach would always make a joke. He'd say, and if anybody wants their black belt tomorrow, 10 grand, meet me out back. I'll take pictures and everything. Pictures are an extra 500. He was doing it tongue in cheek, making fun of other schools who do that type of thing. And there are schools out there who you go to and you get your black belt in 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, there are McDojos out there. There are schools without integrity. And there are schools that will just suck you dry for 10 years rather than that and just want you to keep coming back, as Luke said.
And by the way,
you guys are haters on Moneyberg because he's training with your favorite fighters and they have respect for him because he fills their pockets. It doesn't matter how he has respect for them. You can't even scrub 2 dimes together to get Dustin Poirier to show up. And he's sitting at home depressed all day because he don't fight no more.
And isn't it funny that like a guy with means and money and the ability to go and do whatever he wants chooses to do this with his time? The people who show up are probably like,
oh, everybody loves Zuckerberg for fucking.
Yeah, right. Oh, God forbid. Let me go belt check fucking Zuck. Let me go belt check.
This guy didn't go to Turkey and get a cooler haircut.
Like, I'll tell you what. I don't believe Zuck has a true blue belt. You know what I mean? Like, it's more offensive to me that motherfucker has a blue belt than fucking Moneyberg has a black belt. That's way more offensive.
And if you saw him throwing Mikey Musumeci around, Mikey Musumeci bumps down and says, "I'm tired."
Yeah, and you know what? I bet that didn't happen with Zuck. I bet Mikey Musumeci didn't get tired going with Zuck.
Oh no, he was having his way with Zuck for sure. But it's insane. Anybody who's hating on Moneyberg, absolute number one bullshit. Shouldn't be doing it. Don't fall for the fake nerds of MMA culture who haven't gone to a jiu-jitsu class and haven't seen this with their own eyes and haven't watched a 60-year-old man who doesn't know how to do a fucking armbar, get upgraded belts for just showing up. Hey, you just show up long enough, you have it between the ears. This guy probably has time to train 12 hours a day while he's out there giving money, making money moves.
It's funny. Ed O'Neill, he was famous for Married with Children. He was famous for the show I always put on mute at the hotels. Modern Family. Ed O'Neill, right? He started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when he was 45, right? Under, I believe it was Jean-Jacques Machado. And I just Googled, what age did he get his black belt from Jean-Jacques Machado? He was 61, okay? 61 years old. So, was Ed O'Neill competing? Let me see. Did Ed O'Neill compete in BJJ? And even if he did, right? It's like
you're going to see him in the Gracie tapes beating up the cop.
This is what Google AI says. No, Ed O'Neill has not competed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, though he is a black belt under Rorion Gracie. He is focused on the personal and self-defense aspects of martial arts and the benefits of training over the competitive side, preferring to train for personal growth than accolades. So does that shut everybody the fuck up? You know what I mean? And I guarantee you, Ed O'Neill on the set of Modern Family isn't fucking ship it. Like, he's going to
Not shipping mats over and having a trainer come and roll around with him.
He's going to the flagship store. He's going to the place. He's probably there twice a week for 16 years. And Moneyberg's out here for all these hours it's like the hours. And by the way, it doesn't. And by the way, it doesn't take, like, the lie is that it takes 16 years to get a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. The lie is it takes 16 years of open mics to be a good stand-up comedian. This is all bullshit by gatekeepers who stand to make money off of you being here instead of here. You know what I mean? It's a slow roll. There's a system to jiu-jitsu. You could read it in a fucking book and be able to pass a test and say, when someone's position is here, I do this. But these guys all think it's like this creative science where it's like you have options. You don't have options. There's a couple things you can do in each position. And if you know what they are, you do them. And if you have the physical ability to do it, it works. And if the person's stronger than you and bigger than you and knows what you're doing and counters it, it doesn't. And that's it. It's a step-by-step process. You do this, I do that. You do this, I do that. That's why it works. So if you know those steps and you practice it, and somebody who says, yeah, you know what you're doing. You're doing the right things at the right time in the right places. Doesn't matter if you win a fucking tournament. It matters if that is the case. Can you pass a test? You know what I mean? No one has a problem with katas. No one has a problem with, anyway. No one has a problem with that O'Neal.
On top of that, these guys will bring up like, yeah, but how would you do with Gordon Ryan? That's like one of the questions that Ariel Helwani had in his infinite wisdom. Somebody put in the comments, nobody can say Ariel doesn't ask the hard questions. Who has ever said this? And this is the most softball interview in the world that Ariel has. He knows people hate him, so he's going to ask him the questions that people want to know. Exactly that. And on top of that, Ariel asks UFC fighters questions that could get them in trouble with their job all the time. Those are the hard questions.
And
he asks them regularly.
He brought up the thing. He's like, it's kind of like a McDonald's black belt. And he sneaks little things. And then he goes, I knew you were going to jab me. And he's like, well, I think, he's like, or poke. He's like, I knew you were going to poke me. And Ariel's like, I think poke is kind of like a negative thing though, right? And it's like, he's like, well, no, I'm not saying anything negative. You're a journalist. You're doing your job. You're poking at me. And he's like, yeah, but poke sounds so negative. It's like, Ariel, what you're doing is negative, and we could call it something way worse.
But Ariel, in his infinite wisdom, asks him, yeah, but like, how would you do against Gordon Ryan? He's like, I would imagine that Gordon Ryan would tap me out very quickly. And it's like, yeah,
Ariel. Like, come on. He's like, he's the greatest in the world. Like, yeah, he does that to black belts who do compete.
He does that to every single black belt ever. That's why he's the best. That's why he is the guy who's at the top of the mountain, because he's done that to every single black belt. Black belts that have been black belts for a long time. Black belts who compete at the highest level. Black belts who would do that to 90% of the black belts in jiu-jitsu schools across the world. I just saw a promotion at my last school, seeing all these people get their black belts. You know what they would do with the guys Gordon Ryan beats? They would get submitted in 2 seconds. The guys that those guys beat, like, it could go down that chain 17 times before it would get to the average black belt at a jiu-jitsu school who is 45 years old and doesn't train hard as fuck all the time and doesn't try to compete. Hobbyists will get submitted by all these guys all the time.
It's insane. I mean, I've never felt like my community is like, this must be how it feels to be like a father of like 12 kids and you're just working all the time, and your fatherhood experience isn't going how you always imagined it would because you just got too overwhelmed, and your kids are doing drugs and they're dancing at discotheques and they're being bad, and you just don't, you can't even. That's how my community is now. It's like I look around and I'm like, wait, no, put that down. Wait, no, don't smoke that crack. Wait, no, and I'm like, I don't even have time. You know what I mean? It's like I don't even have time to address all the problems. And I'd be arrogant to think that I could. Mm-hmm. Truly understanding how much there is, how many fires there are to put out, it makes you go, it's never going to end. And it's only going to get worse. And I just got to buckle up because I don't know what else to do. Anyway, what do you think we'd be surprised about VCR Repairman? What would we be surprised about?
I think you'd be surprised.
I think you'd be surprised.
I think Moneyberg fucks up a lot of people, to be completely honest. After seeing him toss Mikey Musumeci around, I think like a lot of people would struggle dealing with a 270-pound gorilla with a black belt.
I mean, dude, that video they put Ronin MMA did covering the Mikey Musumeci texts between him and Jake Shields regarding Moneyberg and showing all of the statements side by side. I mean, chef's kiss. I've personally felt Mikey Musumeci, he was a thorn in my paw from the moment I laid eyes on him. I was like, I don't like this guy. I don't want him around. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you. I was like, he tried. And then, PR genius Craig Jones, PR genius Mighty Mouse Johnson, they had the ability to make him somewhat redeemable. You know what I mean? Somewhat redeemable. And then, but just seeing how weak he is under the pressure of questions from MMA journalists or comments from people on Twitter just makes me realize even further, like, me and this guy can never hang out. We ain't cut from the same cloth. You know what I mean? Like, he is he's a coward. You know what I mean? He's a coward. And cowards will say like, oh, I'm an introvert. No, you're not an introvert. You're a fucking coward. You do interviews and podcasts. You do interviews, you do podcasts, you perform in front of millions of people. Those are not the qualities of an introvert. And you are just an introvert when it comes to things that make you uncomfortable. Then you pull out this little card of like, I'm just awkward. I don't even know what I'm doing. You know what you're doing. And if you don't,
who was an introvert? Evan Tanner. You know where it got him? Dead in the desert.
Dead in the fucking desert. That's an introvert. You know what I mean? People who won't do an interview. That's an introvert. Fedor Emelianenko. You think he's a fucking introvert? Like, you know what I mean? It's like people. I'm not saying introverts can't do extroverted things, but I'm saying true introverts will either avoid it or overcome it. And to float in this middle ground where you have this perma excuse of like, I'm just a awkward, quirky guy. Hey, no excuse. Be professional. Be lucid. Are you here with me? Can you look me in the eyes? Answer the question and answer it honestly. You don't need to think about what you're going to say. An honest man never has to remember what he said. And
you ever see him looking for where to go during the?
Well, I heard his explanation on that, and I forgave that. I heard his explanation,
but just like the way he like his whole mannerisms, just like I get being confused and all, but like, but just that's a little much,
I will forgive that. But I just will say, like, the UFC is missing with these jiu-jitsu guys. They have nobody cool. They have nobody like fun. All these jiu-jitsu guys can talk about is their fucking corporate line that they were given, which is like, okay, our market research shows that like people, what they don't like about jiu-jitsu is like stalling and decisions and like not understanding the rules. What people do like about jiu-jitsu is what they see in the UFC, which are like the finishes and like the submissions and going for submissions and like trying to like end the fight. So they all like just come out there and they go, I love his style because he's just going, man. He's just like going for stuff and just trying to finish the fight. And like, it's like, okay, we don't actually care about that either. You guys are missing it. What we care about is, do you hate that guy and want to beat him? And if he beats you, you'll be pissed. Yes. And the thing that they keep missing is that when they lose and they're like, oh, good match. It was a good match. I love him and I respect him. And, he's done so much for the sport and thank you for the opportunity. And like, that's the shit that's got to go. It's not, you could lay on him for fucking 5 straight rounds. Just don't be boring. Make me care and make me believe that you want to win. I don't believe any of these guys truly give a fuck. And I don't believe it's competitive. And I don't believe that Mikey Musumeci is going to lose any of these fights because I don't think that they stocked his pool with good guys that even, you know what I mean? It's like, it's all just, it's a fake Fugazi bullshit show. Like, it's just
like, get Rutolo in there. Get Cade Rutolo in there or something. Like, you know what I mean? I know he's ONE FC, but like, get some actual good guys in there to be fighting Mike Musumeci. Get somebody in there with some name value. I'm not watching him versus Dion McKenney or whatever the hell these guys name, Dion Vera, whatever their names are. I no one knows who you are, B.
And look, I'm just gonna say this. I need Henry Cejudo to call Peyton Talbot sus at the press conference.
He will.
If listen to me,
he 100% will.
Henry is always the captain of cringe. He's always the guy going after people, and I need him.
Dude, he was
like I need him to bring up Frank. I need him to bring up Frank Ocean. Honestly, I want Henry to just be like why I need somebody to put and do. I'm doing Peyton Talbot. I'm doing this for you. I'm giving you an opportunity to be an ally. I'm giving you an opportunity to fight the good fight. I'm giving you an opportunity to shut up the chauvinistic, alpha male, over masculine bullshit that these, you agree with me, Peyton Talbot. Fighters are complicated and complex, and like somebody's gender can be fluid. Hey, we're on the same page. But I want you to be able to defend that to Henry. Henry, who's, caught on the Rampage Jackson video looking at some girl's butt and trying to, you see that?
Yeah.
Henry, perfect guy, perfect villain. And I know Henry won't do it because they've trained together in Arizona, you know what I mean? But
they have?
What?
They've trained together?
Yeah. And I need Henry to say like, listen, sweet cheeks, just don't fall in love with me when I'm on top of you, pounding you in the face. You know what I mean? Like, I need him to be like, you're zesty. Like, I need him to say that so that Peyton Talbot can beat him and go, hey, not bad for a zesty guy, huh? I want everybody to know, no matter what your origin of choice or your gender identity is, you can be just as and then that gives him the opportunity. But we need the narrative, we need the dialogue, we need the back and forth, we need the storyline, and
we need like a T-shirt, just like Tito Ortiz against Guy Metzger.
This shit has gone off the tracks since Dan abandoned the show. I couldn't agree with you more.
What was that guy's name?
I didn't see it before I clicked on it. So it's very small. I just clicked on the message that was next. But good riddance to Dan. Dan is a fucking coward, is what Dan is. Okay. Dan is a fucking coward. Okay. Dan is not fighting the good fight. Dan's not in the trenches, gambling, winning, losing, battling it out. The scars. And you know what? When I win, remember we always used to talk, oh, Dan, you win your $100,000 parlay. You give me and Alex 10%. We always had those conversations. Yeah, we all win. We when I win my big check, that check's only going to get split one way. Kingpin. One of my favorite movies. Woody Harrelson in Kingpin, one of the best movies of all time. At the very end of the movie, he goes, and this check's only getting split one way. Best line of the whole movie. Shout out if you like Kingpin. Let me know if you guys like Kingpin in the comments below. I love Kingpin so much. Every time I watch Kingpin, that beginning montage of him winning all the bowling matches, I always am like, I wish that the movie was this, like just Woody Harrelson like being good at bowling. I hate like every time I forget that it all goes bad, and then like it all happens, and I'm like, I feel the same way every time I watch him. I'm like, no, his hand. Oh no, his life's ruined. Like I'm always like, I've seen it so many times, but every time I forget, and I'm always like, wouldn't it be great if him and his dad just like went on the bowling tour and he was just. They should make a new movie where a guy just wins the whole time and it's a happy story. Like, hey, watch this guy be sick at bowling, No adventure, no mishaps. He's just going to keep winning and having fun.
Very true. Very true. I think there are movies like that.
No, there aren't. By the very definition of what a movie is, there are not. That's called like a documentary or something about a guy.
Yeah, true.
That's called like Jack Doherty's live stream. You know,
yeah,
where a guy just does whatever he wants with no consequences and just everything. Like that's. It's like watching like Kai Cenat. It's like, hey, Snoop Dogg's here, and tomorrow Drake will be here, and the next day we're going to Spain, and the day after that we're going to Brazil, and the day after that we're going wakeboarding. It's like this is just all up. What's a good thing?
A good time.
It's all coming up, Kai.
Yep. There are rumors that he might be P. Diddy's son.
Like the worst thing that happens in any of these streamers chat, they just go like, yo, chat, was that guy trying to press me? Chat, man, I'm sick of people pressing me. All right, let's go. That's like the worst thing that's ever happened.
No. Sometimes people get pressed and some worse things happen afterwards. Like a beer can gets crushed on their head.
Yeah. But the thing is, Psycho Stu wasn't the streamer, He was just nothing really bad happened to Raj. It's like, can you imagine? It's like, again, just to the narrative.
He's in jail.
He's not in jail.
He posted bond.
He's not in jail. But I'm just saying, like, that night, he just, for him, he was like, yeah, some guy pressed me. I whooped his ass. I got out of there.
I guess it still all did come up Raja.
Yeah, it did all. It pretty much all came up Raj. Like he's yet to face consequence. I mean, people talking about him. It's like they'll never meet him. So anyway, let's just break down UFC Abu Dhabi. I want to tell everybody a very special treat. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard start time. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard start time. 2 p.m. main card. 10 a.m. prelims. 2 p.m. main card. I am fucking it. You know me. I love an early morning. I love getting up and just not having to wait around all day. So I'm pumped as hell for this card. It's a great card. Got 2 championship fights. And yeah, I mean, I got to pee before we do this breakdown. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to go to break screen or if you want to just talk to, talk to the guys for Vandy Hooflin, VCR Repairman.
Don't read the other one. Yeah, gang. I think the Moneyberg stuff is bullshit. I don't think he should grapple Sean Strickland because it doesn't suit him. It doesn't. That could go either way. I've heard it both ways. There was another hot topic that I did see this week that I did want to bring up. I think I sent it to Luke in a text message form. But it's been a pretty crazy week with John Jones and the Hasbulla stuff. That's weird. That's weird as all get out.
I know. I showed my wife that, and she went. You know what I mean? Like, she was like, "Stop! Tell me that's not." I'm like, "People are saying it's his phone." She goes, "Yeah, it's not his phone."
And the way Hasbulla looked at it, and like,
I mean, is there a worse? I'm looking at my John Jones autograph picture right now. I'm looking at him right in the eyes. Is there a worse thing to get caught, like, potentially being, like, if you're potentially turned on by Hasbulla, it means a lot of things that are not, and none of them are good. You know what I mean? It potentially means a lot of things about you. None of them are good. The best case scenario is people just think you might be closeted. The best case scenario.
Yeah, absolutely.
Worst case scenario, not good. Because you just asked one question. What about your horseplay with the little boy turned you on?
Yeah.
What about it? And then it's like,
there better be a good, like he must have just gotten out of like a tuggy massage parlor. Like,
hey, it's an NRB. We all get NRB sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get an NRB.
You can't get an NRB then.
You shouldn't. And
that
if
is not.
You should probably politely excuse yourself.
No, it's not that you shouldn't. You can't. You cannot do that. And if you do that, you're liable.
You should politely excuse yourself.
Yeah.
At the very least, you got to politely excuse.
You gotta be like, there was a big booty woman sitting on my lap right before it, and then they did like a prank, and Hasbulla jumped out like from the big booty woman, and then she got up and we started wrestling, and that's why I was kind of revved up.
Yeah.
It was an Nelk Boys-esque situation where, Nina Drama sitting on your lap 1 minute and then Hasbulla is jumping at you the next.
Hey, look, bad either way. Bad either way.
In every facet.
Look,
there's a lot of fights on this card. We should start breaking it down. Jones is a freak. Yes, absolute freak bull.
my theory, if you watch More Plates, More Dates, he talks about how, certain uses of certain things can lead to a chemical hormonal imbalance in your brain. And maybe where you start isn't where you end up when you start messing with different types of illicit drugs and steroids. I don't know if that's the case here. I'm just saying what More Plates, More Dates said. I think maybe where John started isn't where he is now, and that's the sad truth for a lot of these fighters, I think. Where we met them ain't where they are now. I mean, it's sad. You look at an old video of Chuck Liddell. You look at an old video of BJ Penn. Look at an old video of Nate Diaz. Shit. Who's that other guy? Nam Fan. Is that his name? There's a lot of guys. So between getting your brain knocked around and the other stuff that is done in between these fights, I think that for a lot of boys, it's a luxury to get in and out to leave the same man you came in. So, all right, let's go through. So in summation, we love you guys. Thanks for joining the show. Having a lot of fun tonight, and it is what it is. UFC 3-2-1.
Wow.
Fans of numerology, anybody? So 3-2-1. That's 3 + 2 + 1. That's 6.
Bad.
You know?
The devil's number.
Or it's 3-3. 33 degrees in Freemasonry, 33 vertebrae in your spine, 33 years in the life of Christ, 33 times the phrase to be or not to be was mentioned in Shakespeare's Othello. Lots of mystery surrounding the number 33 is shrouded in mystery. And we're dealing with 3-2-1. So this is a card. It's in Abu Dhabi. 3-2-1.
We're starting out with 2 1s.
What are we counting down to? We're counting down 3, 2, 1. What's going to happen?
It's live.
I want to say this to our audience. I do anticipate. So have you guys heard about this Atlas thing? Atlas, it's like there's like these big things that they've just recently began monitoring in space. They're telling us about these big things, and they're moving in like a swarm formation. It doesn't seem like a meteor. It might be like a mothership, they're saying. If you've been a fan of the show since the inception, since the pandemic, I've been saying that, Operation Project Bluebeam, false flags will be instituted. False flag events will occur where they pretend that there's an alien invasion or a meteor strike. Grimes, Elon Musk's ex-wife, said in an interview recently that they're going to do a mass extinction event to lower the population. Some reports are coming out from Ghislaine Maxwell's declassified files. She's saying that apparently the reports that I'm seeing that have been leaked, I don't know if they're real, I don't know if they're not, but they're saying that she said that there was a cloning lab underneath Epstein Island, accessible by submarine. It is true that there was a submarine accessible point under Epstein Island. She says Bill Gates has been going there for years because exactly that, cloning labs, Microsoft, artificial intelligence, cloning. There's 2,000 or more clones out there. Some of them are the celebrities you see every day. So between the clones and the reverse engineered technology in the form of flying saucers and shit like that, and the Antarctica Treaty and the stuff, the outlying lands beyond the ice wall, combined with the idea that they're projecting into our consciousness that there are these motherships coming towards Earth, set to arrive in November. I believe before the end of the year, there will be a fake alien attack, a fake meteor strike, or they will utilize like real technology, like real actual drones, flying saucers, things like that, to actually make it a very real alien attack done by our own governments. So keep your head on a swivel, and just if this happens, be like, fuck, either Luke was right or he just predicted some shit. I mean, either way, I just want you guys to hug your families close. Hug your families close, and just don't. They're going to do the whole pandemic thing again. They're going to do the whole thing again. Just know it's coming. And I don't know where safe is, guys. I couldn't tell you. I don't know where safe is. You know what I mean? So I know I'm not safe. I'll tell you that much. I'm a stone's throw from the nation's capital. I'm not fucking safe. So hug your families close, and just know that whatever you're seeing for a reason. There's no such thing as coincidences. If it makes it across your desk, it's there for a reason. And I really fear the worst when it comes to the next couple of months. I think there's going to be a big thing, a big event. So watch out. All right, let's break down UFC 3-2-1.
Showtime. All right, first up, we got Jacqueline Amorim versus Mitsuki Inoue. Luke, what do you think about this one?
I'm going to amortize this. I'm going to roll it up. I'm going to pass it over. I'm pass the buck for years to come. I'm going with Amorim. I'm amortizing it, though, so I'm not betting it. I'm going to amortize it. She's a -450 favorite. It's unbettable. It's a fight I'm not interested in betting. I'll be betting Amorim, but I will be picking Amorim, but it's not a fight I'm concerned about. This is the fight this is the fight when you're like, oh shit, I forgot the UFC starts at 10 a.m. this week, and you turn on at 10:30, and this one's just ending. You go, oh good, I missed nothing.
Yeah. Give me Jackie as well. Don't love the line, wouldn't touch it myself, but give me Jackie and Morum.
It's not conspiracy anymore, my friend. It's just, hey, I got some information across my desk. This is what I'm reporting to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not at this point. Is it a conspiracy? Everything around you is a conspiracy. You know what I mean? A conspiracy is when two or more people to get together to create a plan. I mean, it's that there is serious propaganda and serious stuff coming down the pike. And I wouldn't wish some of this on my worst enemy.
More of a propaganda guy myself. Next up, we got
Gaza Strip, the West Bank.
We've got Azat Maxim versus Mitch Raposo. Luke?
This is an interesting one. You got to love Kazakh guys. I think Kazakh guys
have most points in the octagon all time.
Very well-rounded. I think he's Uzbekistani, actually. No, he's Kazakhstani. Yeah, Kazakhstani. They're very well-rounded. But this guy, coming off back-to-back losses, the Charles Johnson decision loss, the Tiger Rumbekov decision loss, being dealt, split decision win against Tyson Nam. This one's interesting to me because Mitch Raposo, New England cartel guy, right? 0-2 in the UFC as well. This is a fight where it's kind of like good matchmaking in the sense that one of them has to win. One of them breaks their 2-fight losing streak. I think it's a minus 115 either way. So, I guess, that leads you to say then the value is on Mitch Raposo at plus 265 because I see this as a fight that goes to decision. I see this as a close fight. I don't generally like Americans traveling to Abu Dhabi. I don't know that they travel well. So, yeah, I'm going to go Azat Maxim, but I think that, it's a it's a dog or pass situation, no bet situation at the current line. I think there's more value on Raposo. Like I said, I see this as more of a 50-50 fight.
Yeah. Nobody has gotten more opportunity in the UFC with none of the payoff more than this guy, Mitch Raposo. Was on the Ultimate Fighter, was the first overall pick, I believe, lost in the first round. Lost to Jake Hadley on the Contender Series, lost in his return to the UFC, was supposed to come back on the Contender Series, but I suppose he that was when he filled in for the Andre Lima fight. Lost again against Sumaderji, like Luke said, and now he's facing Azat Maxim. All close fights. He's good. He keeps it very, very close, as Luke said. I think if you're having a close fight with Tyson Nam, you're going to struggle a little bit with Mitch Raposo. But the other guys that he faced, a lot better than Mitch Raposo. I don't know. It's a tough one. I wouldn't touch this with the 10-foot pole, but I'll go with Mitch Raposo. They obviously see something in this guy. He's been given 3 different opportunities to make his way to the UFC. And now his back's against the wall. So give me Mitch Raposo.
Okay. Next up, we got Chris Bennett versus Hamdi Abdel Wahab. Man, I remember the days you get Hamdi for plus 120, plus 180. Now he's coming in minus 400 against the 39-year-old Chris Barnett. I think Hamdi Abdel Wahab takes him down, dominates him. I don't know that Chris Barnett is healthy enough to even compete. He hurt himself in the warm-up. He's 5'9", 260. He's going to have a massive height disadvantage, but apparently he has the reach advantage. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Hamdi.
Yeah, Hamdi's a guy who kind of guesses after the first 2 minutes of a fight. I do worry about that. I don't love the line. This is another fight where, like, all these fights in the UFC now are like anybody who you actually think has a more than 50% chance is like a minus 500 favorite, minus 400 favorite. And then anybody who it's like, 50-50, you're still getting shit odds for that even. You're like, oh, this could go either way. Like, I don't think any of these fights should be lined the way that they are. But I do think the line is kind of on the right side. Heavyweight's unpredictable. I'm going to go with Beast Boy. I think the dogs are going to be barking again in Abu Dhabi.
All right. Next, we got Jose Delgado versus Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood, decision machine, and winning a lot of these fights pretty close, but winning them impressively. Not, he's gritting it out. He's getting wins. He's 21-6. He's on a pretty decent win streak. The loss to Naimov aside, and he's taken on really good competition. I mean, Castaneda, Jourdain, Feely, Morgan Charrier. I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood here as a slight dog, but I do think Delgado is the real fucking deal. I just think that Wood's a better minute winner, and he's smart enough to not let Delgado make the fight his, right? It's a dance only one person can lead. If Delgado gets caught a little flat-footed in the first round and doesn't kind of make the most of the first round, I think Wood sets the pace, sets the rhythm, and takes this all the way to another boring Nathaniel Wood decision. Not boring, but another Nathaniel Wood grind out decision. Give me Nathaniel Wood here.
Yeah, I worry. Nathaniel Wood does get cracked a lot. He kind of leaves his chin out there sometimes. Is hittable, and in fights that he's won, he's even been cracked, and it gives me a little cause to pause here. Jose Delgado's got a lot of explosive strikes. If he can land one of those on Nathaniel Wood, I don't have any doubt that he can put him away. But Nathaniel Wood, I've just seen a lot more of him. I know what he's capable of. He's capable of a hell of a lot, and I think that he is going to be able to beat Jose Delgado by decision.
All right. Next, we got Walter Walker versus Louis Sutherland. Louis Sutherland looking to make his debut, coming off a series of decent knockouts and decisions outside of the UFC. And, I liked Louis Sutherland in his last matchup that was canceled. And I liked Walter Walker a lot better in his last matchup that was canceled. You're getting similar odds on Walter Walker against this guy as you were against Mo Usman. So I'm a little worried because I don't think that this one's as easy for Walter Walker as some of them have been, right? But I'll take Walter Walker by submission.
Hold on, I need to look something up real quick. Justin Taffa pulled out of that card from illness. Junior Taffa pulled out by injury. I really thought that these guys were going to be like, no, mate, we got sick together. we're training together. We're both sick, man. Oh wait, no, they're Australian. Terrible accent. But yeah, they're idiots. The Taffa Bros, like Luke said, would have taken the Vanilla Gorilla against those Taffa Bros. But I just think Walter Walker is on a warpath for this title, and I think he should be higher up on the card. Personally, I think he should be, trending toward that main card spot. I know that there's some high level talent on that main card, but you got to get Walter Walker higher to the top of the bill here. So when he makes a call out, it's heard. It's heard by the masses because he's on a warpath for the title. Louis Sutherland's going to go down via heel hook first round. You look at a guy like that, those big of traps, it's probably for the better that he didn't show up in America and get drug tested right away or Australia for that matter, and get drug tested right away. Cause this guy's got traps up to his ears.
Those traps are impossible.
Yes.
I don't even believe that it's of benefit to have traps that big. I think at a certain point, it's like it's impeding your ability to be flexible and throw a punch. So,
and it's not like he's like all bodied up. Like he looks a little saggy in the chest and belly area, but then he's just got the craziest traps you've ever seen. Unless this is like an optical illusion and somebody's standing behind him with their back turned, there's no way you should have traps like that. But I could see it as an advantage dealing with guillotines. Give me Walter Walker heel hook, this guy, although he has really large traps, he's got some skinny legs, and I think Walter Walker's going to take one home with him.
Nice. Okay, next fight: Abdul Karim Al Sawadi versus Mateus Camillo.
Abdul Karim Al Sawadi.
Abdul Karim Al Sawadi. Yeah, I mean, I'm going with the Palestinian in Abu Dhabi. It's a near even pick'em fight. This is a boring fight. I think both these guys are ass, but I'll go with the Pride of Palestine to get a win in Abu Dhabi. I've never heard of Camillo. Apparently, he got submitted by Gabe Green 5 months ago. Don't remember that fight happening. If you do, God bless you. But I don't remember Gabe Green being a winner. So I'm going with the Pride of Palestine to win in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And historically, that's not really the way to go. Palestinians,
Yeah.
a lot of guys,
Yeah, I think
like,
he's
for
the
example, I mean, like Egyptians, Palestinians. Who's the other guy that really sucks? Muhammad Yahya. I mean, these guys, they don't really do well.
UAE Warrior.
The UAE Warrior, exactly. He stinks. That guy stinks. The UAE and the surrounding regions haven't ever really produced a good fighter at all. So I'll switch. So I'm switching. I'm going with Mateus Camillo.
There's too much to do.
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to train fighting when you can be going down a water slide, or shopping at a mall, or going on a water slide? So much to do.
Boarding.
The Middle East just seems like Sahara Sam's to me, or like great. It's like, you ever been to the Middle East? I'm like, I've been to the Great Wolf Lodge. Seems similar. They serve alcohol at the Great Wolf Lodge. I mean.
Yeah, give me Camillo, younger, hungrier. I think he also, lost against Gabe Green. Gabe Green's a pretty tough customer. Loic Radzhabov, not so much. I think Gabe Green destroys Loic Radzhabov.
Mateus is from Brazil, to answer the question in the comments.
Who?
Mateus Camillo. He's from Brazil.
Yeah, give me Mateus Camillo, the Brazilian.
Here's my impression of me in Abu Dhabi. Cool, a falcon. I can drive the dune buggy. That was fun. Water slide. That was fun too. Okay.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
I'm not going to Abu Dhabi.
They're trying to get me
so. I feel like they're just begging. They're like, they're marketing to 2015 Luke. You know what I mean? They're like, we have boxing and UFC and stand-up comedy and water slides. I'm like, okay, thank you. You're 10 years too late.
That's very true. Very true. Next up, we got Ludwig Klein versus Mateusz Rebecki.
A fight years in the making. A fight that should have happened a long time ago.
A fight that feels like it's happened a million times.
Yeah, I mean, when you match up Ludwig Klein with Mateusz Gamrot, you match up Mateusz Rebecki with Oralby. They both fought, or Loic Radzhabov, that's a better one. And then, they fought Roosevelt Roberts, common opponent there. Yeah, really interesting fight, really good fight. Mr. Highlight, he's one of those guys who comes to the UFC and looks like he got on a cycle. Like, he is fucking a brick shithouse, but so is Mateusz Rebecki. This is Mateusz Rebecki's built like Dan Henderson, fights like Dan Henderson at 155 pounds. It's a really interesting fight. It's probably going to be like the fight of the night. I don't see either of them going down easily. I just wonder, when Oralby was able to get some of those grappling moments against Rebecki, I imagine Mr. Highlight could do it and do it better. So I'm leaning Mr. Highlight, but it's a tough one because it's like, these are both guys I like to kind of bet on, and both guys I have respect, and both guys I'm a fan of. So I'll go with Klein. Ethan J. Klein. I'll go with Ludwig J. Klein.
Um,
And I hope he's not on a decline.
no. He's on an incline for sure. I'm gonna go with Klein as well. I just think that the damage that Rebecca has taken in like his last 3 fights.
But he's Polish. They don't care.
He is Polish. He doesn't care, but like knocked out by Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira's old as all get out. Matej Orlby, he won that fight, dude, but he was missing half of his face by the end of it. Also took a lot of damage against Chris Duncan. He did take an appropriate amount of time after that Orlby fight, healing up. But, it's only been, 3 months since August? 2 months since August? So he really hasn't had that much time to heal from that Chris Duncan fight. And if I remember correctly, his whole eyeball was shut. Give me Ludwig Klein. I think Ludwig Klein is going to have a lot more viewable damage. And even if Mateusz Rebecca keeps it kind of close, I think that with all the damage that's been done to Rebecca's face lately, it'll be a lot easier to swell that eye up, a lot easier to cut open his eyebrow, a lot easier to break his nose. It's just how it works. So give me Ludwig Klein.
Next, we got Ikram Aleskarov versus Jung Young Park, the Iron Turtle. Jung Young Park, I love this guy. This fight, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys up front. I think Ikram Aleskarov is probably going to win. Obviously, he's the favorite. But as a fan and as a supporter, I'm going to leave this one out of all my parlays, and I'm just going to back Jung Young Park. I want to be betting on him in a solo capacity outside of all the parlays, and I just want to say I'm rooting for him. I want to have the fun experience of rooting for my guy in enemy territory to go in. And people forget, man, Jung Young Park, great on the ground, against guys who know nothing on the ground, decent at staying on the feet against guys that know a lot on the ground. And when he dominated John Phillips, or one of these guys on the ground, I think it was Bisping was like, yo, your ground game. And he just said, I'm a boxer. He said, I'm a boxer. So this guy's a boxer. And you know what happened when Ikram Aleskarov fought Robert Whittaker? He got knocked out. You know what I think Jung Young Park does to Rob Whittaker? He knocks him the fuck out. So with his dentures. He knocks those dentures right out of his ill-tooth and mouth. So I'm going to go with Jung Young Park. It's a long shot. It's a fan play. But I want him to win, and I want to support him, and I want to back him, and I'm going to bet Jung Young Park in this fight.
Double P certify the Iron Turtle. Ikram Aleskarov, sure, he beat Andre Muniz. But
Andre Muniz?
I think Andre Muniz had moments there for a little bit, and then kind of... Didn't he take him down once? I thought he took him down in the beginning of the fight. Anywho, Andre Muniz sucks. And I think the world of Jung Young Park. This guy, nobody's gotten a easier path than Ikram Aleskarov with Phil Hall's Warley Alves. He took that Rob Whittaker fight on short notice, and they paid him back with Andre Muniz. So nobody's gotten an easier path. Jung Young Park is the highest caliber of competition apart from Robert Whittaker. Give me Jung Young Park.
Okie dokie, 2 for Jung Young Park. Next we got Nasrat Hapgras versus Quinion Salkild. Quinion Salkild, do not redeem. I'm going... Oh, wait, no, Quinion Salkild. He's not who I'm thinking he is. He's not at all who I'm thinking he is. Who was I thinking he was? Okay, Quinion Salkild coming off a decision win against Yanel Ashmuth, knocked out on Shul Jubilee, who I was probably mistaking him for. And then beat Gage. I'm going Nasrat Hapgras. Again, whoever said it in the comments, minus 105 for this guy, Nasrat, who's just faced the who's who of, gatekeepers. I mean, he's the gatekeeper's gatekeeper. Quinion's...
You're losing Dane Green and Dan Hooker. Nasrat Hapgras. he hasn't had a decisive victory in the last.
What do you think? What do you think's gonna happen?
I think he hasn't had a decisive victory in almost 3 years now. It takes you all the way back to Jamie Malarkey in December 2023. So I guess 2 years, almost 2 years now, since he's had a good victory or a decisive victory. The last 2 fights went to split decision against Jared Gordon and Esteban Ribovic. Esteban Ribovic isn't a bad guy to lose to or go to split decision to by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, you have 2 very close decisions. You're losing to King Green. You're losing to Dan Hooker. What that shows me, you're getting knocked out by Drew Dober. What that shows me is, you know, you face a guy that has a little power. You know, you might be in trouble. You might be in a little bit of trouble. Quinlan Scalakid. He's got some power in his hands. He's got some crisp striking. I think he could run away with this one. And at the very least, this is going to be one where if you're betting on Hapcrass, you're going to be clenching your butt. Nice shirt, Alex. Can we get an uwu for the boys? Thanks, Luke. You know, you got Nascrass, Hapcrass. You know, we got him here. He's not that impressive. He's not going to do a lot of damage. He's going to do a lot of controlling. He's not going to outvolume Scalakid. He's going to do a lot of fence holding. Scalakid's going to have he's going to scataboo it up. He's going to create collisions. He's going to get the meaningful strikes in the rounds where Hasparas is going to be grasping for dear life the entire time. I'm going to go with Quinlan Salakid. Salakid here. These 2 names, like these are
Salakid.
Quinlan Salkilled versus Nasparas Caparas. Like these names, they're impossible to say.
It's Sal killed. Sal was killed.
Yeah,
but without the E, it's like punked. You know, punked.
Sal killed.
Sal killed. Okay, yeah, I'm switching up. I'm going QS with you, Quinlan Salkilled. You're exactly right. I mean, this is one of those fights where if you look at the resumes, you're going to be like, how is this fight a pick'em? That's where Hopcross fought the who's who in the division. He's a gatekeeper's gatekeeper. I mean, that's what you're going to say. This kid's going to kick the gates down. You know what I mean? He doesn't give out 2 Fs. So, yeah, give me Quinlan Salkilled.
Oh, yeah. Next up, a pretty big banger right here. Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov. Now, for me here, I've bet against Azamat Murzakanov, and I think every single one of his fights, apart from Brenson Hiberio. And maybe Johnny Walker if we broke that one down first. But I picked Tafon and Chukwi. Tafon and Chukwi was beating the shit out of him for the entire fight, got knocked out by a flying knee. Definitely didn't pick Devin Clark over him. I don't know. Dustin Jacoby.
Jacoby.
You know I picked Dustin Jacoby over
Dustin Jacoby.
And I probably picked Alonzo Menafield too.
Dustin Jacoby.
I'm gonna keep fading him because it's got to come up black eventually. He hasn't really impressed me too much. I feel like just like Corey Sandhagen, he throws the most Hail Marys of anybody possible. So the only way he really wins is by Hail Mary. And listen, Alexander Rakic, he's going to hold him. He's going to hold him for 5 rounds. He's going to beat him up everywhere. He's going to be throwing kicks from the outside. He's going to be landing those thudding strikes. You just got to worry that he might get tired and stiffed by Azamat Murzakanov, as many people have, after showing a lot of success against him. I'm going to go with Rakic. I'm going to go with Rakic emphatically. I just don't like what I've seen from Murzakanov to this point in his career. And I think that he has a lot of holes in his game. Shout out to Kevin Lee. And Alexander Rakic is the way more well-rounded guy.
100% agree. Alexander Rakic by knockout. He's going to knock him the fuck out. And that takes us into the main card, and Alexander Volk.
That was on the main card too, Luke.
Yeah, it was. I know. Alexander Volkov versus Jailton Almeida. Guys, remember 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start time is when Rakic versus Mirzakhanov will kick off. 10 a.m. prelims. Please remember this, guys. I would hate for you to miss this fight. Alexander Volkov. That was very. I think you should leave of me. I got real Tim Robinson there, and I've never even seen that show. Alexander
His
Volkov.
new show on HBO is pretty good so far.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to watch that too.
Chair Company. It's good.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. I saw the preview and I was like, ooh, add that to the queue.
Yeah.
I need a good show coming up soon because now we got no Contender Series. So I won 700 on the UFC fights, and then I pretty much lost all of it between NASCAR and NFL. I had some, and I came so close in both, right? I mean, Giants as big underdogs would have won me another 1,000, and they were giving me every opportunity to cash out. I mean, they were still offering me like $350 on a $100 bet. Fucking like when with a minute left in the game, you know what I mean? I should have cashed that one out. I should have knew that.
I'm in a fantasy league with Zach Charbonnet's cousin, and I told
I don't know who Zach Charbonnet is.
He's a running back on the Seahawks. He's like the backup running back, but last night he gets 2 touchdowns.
My brother is in a fantasy league with Zach Charbonnet's cousin.
Yeah,
we made it. This is what the Hollywood elite feels like, baby.
And I told the guy, I said, listen, if your cousin Zach steals one of my Kenneth Walker III touchdowns one more time, we're gonna have some serious issues. And I'm the commissioner of this league, Luke. You thought I was a big deal before. I'm a big deal. Okay, I can pull some strings. I can take away his whole team in 2 minutes if I wanted to.
Okay.
So hopefully you can get Zach to cut it out.
That'd be good for you. Alexander Volkov versus Jailton Almeida. This is one of those fights, right? I mean, I bet on Alexander Volkov in his last fight against Gane. I thought he won. Everybody thought he won. Dana White thought he won. But, he didn't get the decision. They said, we're going to take care of Volkov. So by taking care of him, made him wait 10 months and gave him a fucking Jailton Almeida. I mean, that's not taking care of him. You should have given him Chris Barnett. But no, Jailton Almeida, I can see it's interesting, right? I can see this fight looking like Jailton Almeida versus Derek Lewis. And I can see this fight looking like Volkov versus
Curtis.
I could see Volkov kind of
that fight against Curtis Blades was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was a year and 7 months ago.
No, Volkov and Curtis.
No, I'm saying I could see Volkov doing to Almeida what Curtis did to Almeida.
Yes,
yeah, and I'd love that. I would really love that if that happened. I love Volkov and I want him to win here, but I just think that Almeida is going to be able to make him relatively impotent and take him down and use his youth and physicality and athleticism and wrestling to get this fight to the ground and remain it there. So, think about it like this. If Almeida was able to take down and submit Alexander Romanov, who is a fucking beast, unceremoniously cut from the UFC for no reason off a win. Bring Romanov. And by the way, it's like, yo, guys, the heavyweight division sucks. Like, you cut Romanov, but you got Chris Barnett on this card.
And you cut Martin Buday, who is 5-1 in the UFC, 5-fight winning streak, and cut him.
It's pathetic. I mean, honestly, and guys, it's an insult to you, the fan, when they do shit like this, because they're saying oh, he's boring. You got Hunter Dork Glasses Campbell and fucking idiot Mick Maynard fucking chugging beers.
Hunter Campbell looks like a fucking Cheshire cat.
Dude, yeah, Hunter Campbell, he looks like he should be running a fucking cell phone company. These guys are deeply deceptive, in my opinion. But and honestly, all these people, all of these folks, they really think we're a bunch of dumb fucks. I mean, they do what's easy for them. They treat the UFC as if it's like a fucking Rolex/Rolls Royce dealership that you have to be a special criteria of person to enter. It's like, you guys are in the fight business. Get the best fighters who win the fights in the UFC and cut the ones who don't. It's very fucking simple. You don't need to be well, what will the fans think about? And Muhammad, what's the guy's name? That got cut. Makayev. Mohammed Makayev, he was a nightmare to deal with for Trish, who works in the bookings. He was always requesting better hotels. What was he doing that was so fucking abhorrent that you keep John Jones through all of his fucking antics and you cut Mohammed Makayev? Like, trust me, anybody backstage would tell you he was a nightmare to deal with. Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck about your fucking backstage people. I don't give a fuck if he was rude while signing the fucking poster. I don't give a fuck if he thought more highly of himself than you think he deserved to. I don't give a fuck about any of this.
You know who else was probably a little bit rude?
What?
You know who else was probably a little rude? Adam Pac-Man Jones. But he could fucking ball out, so they kept him on the field.
Yeah,
I
like
want to see
UFC's like he's a locker room cancer. It's a solo sport. I don't give a fuck. Deal with it. It's your job. It's your fucking job. Like, you're cutting guys you think are they're winning. They're beating your fucking fighters. Cut the ones they beat twice over. Such bullshit.
Yeah. You
don't have this ain't a league. This podcast is more of a league than the UFC. I tell my wife all the time, I'm not a gambler. I'm in a men's league. Okay? Like, there's plenty of men going off into their little men's league. Oh, I play softball. Oh, I play hockey. Oh, I play this and I play that. I do jujitsu. I'm a hobbyist. This is my men's league. This is a men's league, okay? I don't do fantasy football. I don't play fucking softball. I don't play flag football. I don't hurt myself playing a pickup game in basketball, tearing my fucking Achilles like some scrub. These guys, my friends, breaking their wrists, fucking tearing their Achilles, playing basketball.
The Pacers might call him up tomorrow. You never know. I mean, it's probably a valuable use of your time.
Yeah, bedridden, grown men bedridden because they wanted to play hoops in the park. So I hope they break their arms next time. But anyway, yeah, I'm in a men's league and I'm taking Almeida.
Okay. I'm gonna take Volkov. I think that Almeida has a lot of holes in his game. And, like I thought what Luke was saying is he could see it like Curtis Blades versus Volkov 5 years ago, which is how I could see this going, which would, lean toward Almeida. But if you guys remember in that fight, Curtis Blades was on his last legs in the last round. He wasted all of his energy trying to keep Volkov down because he's a slippery guy. I know Tom Aspinall submitted him, but he's not an easy guy to keep down. He's 6'9". He is humongous. He is strong. He can work his way to his feet. He's been I don't know if you guys have seen Volkov, but in his last few fights, he's been bodied up. He wasn't the same string bean he was when he first came into the UFC. I think Volkov could fuck Almeida up pretty bad. And I think that Almeida doesn't really have much for him. Derek Lewis had great moments against Almeida. Did he beat
Not
Almeida?
Really. No, he got taken down all 5 rounds and laid on top of for all 5 rounds.
I thought he got up all 5 rounds. He got up in the first 3 rounds. Just kind of shrugged him off, and he was in on short notice. Derek Lewis did pretty well, which led me to believe that Curtis Blades would beat Almeida. I called that. I called that Curtis Blades would beat Almeida. And I think Alexander Volkov is going to beat Almeida too. He's faced guys who want to keep him down, and he's done pretty well against them. Even in the fight that he lost to Curtis Blades against, I think he won the last round 10-8. But since he lost all the other ones, he lost the fight. I think Almeida is a guy who gasses. I think that he is going to face a lot of adversity fighting against Alexander Volkov. You got to get in between a lot of range. Tom Aspinall came out recently and said, Alexander Volkov's manager told me that he was 6'9", but didn't want people to think he was a freak show. So he said he was 6'7". When you're that tall, they can't even measure you. Like, who is going to
7? Did I do it right?
When you're that tall, they can't even measure you anyway. How would they fucking know? Who's the 6'8"?
Zoo?
Who's the 7-foot guy measuring all these 6'11" guys? Okay, there's not a lot of 7-footers out there, and none of them are physicians. Okay, they have other jobs, basketballs and freak shows, like a lady with a beard.
Mm-hmm. Precisely, my dear Watson. So
Volkov it is.
Okay, yeah. I literally Yeah. Okay. So next we got Umar Nurmagomedov. You're
Did
going
you
with
think I
Volkov. I'm going with Almeida. Alex is going with Volkov. Next we got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista. I'll start this off easy peasy for me. Umar Nurmagomedov doesn't only lost to Merab, had a broken hand, very close fight. I think that he's going to dominate Bautista. I think he's going to finish Bautista. I think Bautista knows not what he's getting himself into. Umar Nurmagomedov by submission is kind of my little play here, but I just think, if you go back, when you picture like Umar Nurmagomedov versus guy from Long Island, plays the beat banjo, bald head, Brian Kelleher. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Brian Kelleher. That kick that he threw to the body, a katana. People forget that Umar has like fast kicks and like is a deadly striker. I think that Umar is better everywhere and is going to beat Bautista everywhere. And I think he ends up with a finish. Bautista is saying he's going to knock Umar out. He's making it seem kind of like, but it's like, dude, you got submitted by Sandhagen. You lost to Trevin 5-Star Jones. I respect both those fighters, but I think they're both a level behind Umar Nurmagomedov. I think Umar has all the pressure in the world on him and will rise to the occasion and beat Bautista, sending him to the back of the line, making room for Sugar Sean O'Malley to rise up through the ranks after fighting Sandhagen and challenge the winner of Umar versus Merab for the title when they rematch inevitably eventually after the Jan versus Merab fight.
Yeah, I mean, if he loses another, Habibi Netanyahu is going to be, throwing some nukes at his Iron Dome, and talking about his cousin Habib Nurmagomedov. Not anything crazy here. It was a play on words, you fucking losers. What's that?
Oh, nothing. No, cheers. I just was doing a little.
I thought you were trying to show me what's in your cup like you're a fucking toddler. Give me Umar Nurmagomedov. I agree with everything Luke said. Pretty spineless for the MMA guru to take his bounty off right when it's about to happen, when somebody is going to get revenge on Mario Batista for him. Give me Umar Nurmagomedov. I think he could win this by finish. He should win this by finish. I mean, everybody who is a minus 450 favorite better win the fight 30-25 or by finish. I do not want to see these guys, they get lined minus 1,000, minus 700, minus 800, minus 500, and go out there and fucking pitch a stinker and make it a close fight and win 29-28. So you weren't a minus 500 favorite, right? So you weren't that good. Okay, so you suck. Give me Umar Nurmagomedov.
And they've introduced spread betting to the UFC to placate the fact that we have these gripes where, because to me, it's like, if you're that big of a favorite, then covering the spread means winning by finish. However, they've done this whole well, maybe they win by a certain amount of rounds, but you can't, it's not a point spread like the NFL. The judges rob you too much,
Yeah.
Without a second fucking thought. There's never even a question. It's like, you're never going to be like, man, I had Umar Nurmagomedov by plus minus 3.5, and one judge gave 2 rounds to Bautista, and it's like, what? Like, come on. Like, it was you're never even going to know that judge's name,
Yeah. Unless you're me. I know every judge.
And sure, refs shave points off for the spread all the time. Players shave points off for the spread all the time, But I don't know. It's just it doesn't do it. To me, covering the spread as a big favorite means finishing the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
Take us through Jandiroba versus Dern. Give him a little bit of personal backstory. Talk about how Mackenzie still has to pay her surfer ex-husband bum alimony, and then I'm going to use the bathroom, and I'll be right back to give my pick.
Yeah, Mackenzie Dern still has to pay her ex-husband, surfer bro, his money that he deserves because, if Mackenzie Dern wants to be sleeping in silk sheets every night, then her baby does too. The standard of living, it goes both ways. It's not just her husband's responsibility to do that. If you make so much more money, make sure that him and the baby are sleeping in silk sheets. It needs to be the same. It needs to be uniform for a child. You don't want to be going from a mansion to a trap house every weekend, or a surfer concave. The surfers don't even have houses; they live in caves. I know that this fight has happened in the past, and I know that Verna Jandiroba lost to homegirl in the past. But I don't know. I just think Verna Jandiroba has been coming into her own. She's been fighting really well. You know, she did have those bad losses to Amanda Hebas and Mackenzie Dern early in her UFC career. You know, couple years in, only like 4 or 5 fights in. But I think she's really stepped her game up. I think she looks a lot better. I did not expect her to beat Zhao Nan Yan. I didn't expect her to beat 9. I love 9. I had 9. Amanda Lemos, tough customer. Lupe Godinez. I'm gonna close one eye and I'm gonna hold my nose and I'm gonna take Verna Jandiroba, because this Mackenzie Dern has been given every single opportunity in the world. Every single one. You know, she headlines fight night cards. She gets picked to fight for the title when she is ranked. What's she ranked in this division? What is she ranked? Give me line. She's ranked number 7 in the division. She's ranked number 7 in the division. If this isn't like the prettier girl on American Idol getting to go to Hollywood and the uglier girl who has a better voice not getting to go to Hollywood in sport, I have never seen it before. You know, like, this is insane. This is pretty girl privilege. She doesn't deserve to be in this spot. Verna Jandiroba is number 3 for a reason. She's been fighting people at a higher level. She hasn't been going to slap fights. She hasn't been hanging out with Nina Drama and Jelly Bean Brains. She's been dialed in, because guess what? She's an island boy. She's an island boy just trying to make it. Nobody wants to hang out with her. Everybody wants to hang out with Mackenzie Dern. Everybody at Jackson Fight Gym wants to hang out with Mackenzie Dern. Nobody's asking Verna Jandiroba to go out on a Friday night.
That's
what she's doing. What she's doing.
She's a handsome woman.
She is a beautiful woman. And you know what she's doing? She's hanging out with Moneyberg, training at 3 a.m. while Mackenzie Dern's out partying, Poa Karai, going on Neon stream, going on Kai Cenat's stream, going on Aiden Ross's stream. All the guys. She's on all the guys' streams. Verna Jandiroba.
Who are your guys? Mark Maron.
So I'm going with Verna Jandiroba with one eye open and a heart full of gold. She's going to make her dream come true. And Mackenzie Dern is going to fumble once again. She always does. She is hand-given every opportunity from the UFC because she's pretty and talented and has the name value of Megaton Diaz behind her, right? Isn't that her dad, or is that, what's her name's dad?
It's her dad. But here's the thing that you're forgetting. Mackenzie fights like the fucking house is on fire and doesn't use her jiu-jitsu and throws fucking rocks on ropes. And Jason Perlot's like, stop! You know, like, she's always... she's a fighter, man. And I think that when the going gets tough, Mackenzie Dern gets going. And I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going Mackenzie. She's younger. She's getting better each time. She looked great against Amanda Hebas. And I think Verna Jandiroba is really good, but all of her strengths fall into Mackenzie's strengths. And she has things that are going to inhibit her that Mackenzie will be able to bypass. So I'm going to take Mackenzie Dern. Pretty confidently too.
I mean, every time they try to give Mackenzie Dern the spotlight, she shits on them. She absolutely shits on them. And I mean, mutual opponent, you take Zhao Hanan. Verna Jandiroba beat the shit out of Zhao Hanan, took her down, made it look effortless, beat her up for 3 rounds, didn't have any traffic coming back her way. And Mackenzie Dern lost to Amanda Lemos. You know who Verna Jandiroba fought before Zhao Hanan? Amanda Lemos. Beat her by armbar in the second round. So Yeah, I don't care what you say. This is pretty privileged. Mackenzie Dern should have never gotten this opportunity. It's not earned. It's been given to her through nepotism and pretty privilege. Give me Verna Jandarova.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, we'll agree to disagree. I'm going Mackenzie Dern. I think Mackenzie Dern is just younger, more athletic, more competent, and is going to win the fight everywhere. Okay.
Definitely not more competent. There's a 0% chance she's more competent.
That's true. That's true. I was wrong for saying that. Okay, that brings us to the main event, baby. Tom Aspinall.
Verna Jandarova left her country and didn't start speaking English like she's from Nebraska. That's all I'll say.
Look, if Verna can take her down and frustrate her in those first 3 rounds and get ahead, I think Mackenzie will kind of not be good at fighting from behind. But I think that some of Verna's early takedowns are going to fail, or she'll get swept and end up. I don't know. I'm just. It's Mackenzie in my mind.
Fair enough. Well, next up, the main event of the evening: Big Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. Neither of these fellas have nicknames. Bongaman.
Bongamin.
Sure.
The gamer.
I think so. He is like top 500 in FIFA or something like that. He is a good gamer himself. I'm going with Tom Aspinall.
That means good kid.
Good kid. Mad City. Going with Tom Aspinall here. Tom Aspinall. And it's not even as much that I think. I don't know. It's difficult, right? Because I think Cyril Gane has a route to victory, and it's doing that tippy-tappy, running around, making Tom Aspinall chase him, get him into deep waters, and, seeing how Tom Aspinall does in the 3rd round. Tom Aspinall has been submitted by one move, and it was a heel hook. There's another guy on this card who's good at heel hooks besides Bongaman. His name is Walter Volker. Tom Aspinall has been submitted by a heel hook. Cyril Gane's got some heel hooks. Cyril Gane can play a game that he can beat Tom Aspinall at, just tippy-tappy outside, tippy-tappy, and then come in with that big one. But the thing is Cyril Gane, he's a lot like Mackenzie Dern. He's allergic to a big moment. He could have beaten Francis Ngannou. He crippled under John Jones. I'm going to go with Tom. I'm going to go with Big Tom, but there's definitely paths to victory for Cyril. I think it's a good hedge opportunity to hedge on Cyril Gane. I think that he will probably be the better striker. It's just a matter of if he can stay on his feet and not get hit with those ham hocks. Because, Tom Aspinall certainly has the power advantage in this one, but Cyril Gane's a much finer striker and can certainly frustrate people on the feet. I think Tom Aspinall is going to go across the cage, football tackle him, and immediately start hunting for submissions after he saw what John Jones did.
I'm going to go with Cyril Gane. Elon Musk said the most entertaining outcome is the most likely to happen. And for me, the heavyweight division is a little stale right now. We didn't get that big climactic moment of Jones versus Aspinall. We didn't even get, Francis versus Aspinall. We didn't get a good fight out of Gane with Jones. And I think everything's a little stale, and it would make so much sense for Tom to just put a pretty little bow on this division, pull it tight, and say, cool, Francis is gone, Jones is gone, Gane is defeated. Now I am the heavyweight champion, ready to take on these no-name contenders who nobody gives a fuck about, like Jailton Almeida. So I think that the most entertaining outcome is that Bongamin, Cyril Gane, he knocks out Tom Aspinall, catches Tom Aspinall, hurts him, drops him. I think he's the much better striker. I think he's competent enough to avoid the takedowns. And I think people are going to be surprised. I'm taking Cyril Gane.
I like it. I like it a lot, and I hope it happens. Honestly, I love Tom Aspinall, but just like the amount of Tom Aspinall white knighting has driven me up a fucking wall, and it makes me not like him as much. And I think the most entertaining possible outcome is Cyril Gane gets a win. Tom Aspinall's disgusted with himself. You know, there's a reason that the heavyweight division hasn't had anybody get more than 3 title defenses. Tom Aspinall already has one. They're counting it on Tapology over here. I know it was the interim belt that he defended, but the record for a long time was 2. You know, the heavyweight division has the most movement of any division in the sport.
Most interim champions and the most, for whatever reason, heavyweights sitting on their hands and saying, I ain't gonna fight that guy. I want to fight this guy.
Yeah, and you know, I'm going to go with Tom Aspinall at the end of the day, just because I think that's the most probable thing. But there's nothing I'd love more than John Jones getting on Twitter immediately after Cyril Gane beats Tom Aspinall. MMA Guru's crying. It would make amazing content across the board. MMA Guru is going to be so sad. He might delete his whole channel. Tom Aspinall is going to be devastated. John Jones is going to be going off on a Twitter tirade more than any ever before, and he's gonna go out there and be like, let's run it back at the White House, Cyril.
No, John will do this. He'll go, hey, shouts out to Cyril, all respect to Cyril. You know, it's his time now to do his thing, and I'm just focused on, you know, an interesting fight in Alex Pereira, and you know what I mean, like. Yeah. He'll no sell Cyril. He'll be like, why would I fight him again? I can't. He'll go, at the end of the day, I can't top what I already did. So
very true.
Now everybody knows how deep this division is and it makes his accomplishment look that much more impressive.
Yes. Yeah.
And I can see it now. Tom Aspinall, you know, hey everybody, I'm okay. First of all, I'm okay. And you know, we'll be back. We'll be back. This is not over. I'm still very young, and congratulations to Cyril. Hats off to Cyril. He came in, he did the job. He's the better man on that night. But I do believe, yeah, I'll be back, and we'll do it again, Cyril. We'll run it back for the trilogy. Trust me. Yeah. Look, we agree jiu-jitsu doesn't work. It definitely doesn't work at heavyweight. We agree that Cyril's the better striker. Tom fights like this with his head straight up in the fucking air. Cyril's gonna go jab, overhand right, left hook, elbow.
That'd be something.
Elbow.
That would be something.
He knocks Tom Aspinall out with an elbow against the side of the cage.
What round? 2. Bit of a feeling out process.
Here's DC and Laura Senko. And you're right, Laura. We've never seen Tom Aspinall in a fight this long. So already, if you're Cyril Gane, you got to be feeling good about that.
Yeah. And then
he went 5 rounds with Francis Ngannou. Most people don't make it out of 1 minute with Francis Ngannou. Cyril has gone to 5 rounds. He's in the 5-round club, and this is gonna be a great feeling for Cyril in his corner coming into round 3.
That's good. You're selling me. You're selling me for sure.
And DC, you gotta wonder in the Aspinall corner, are they prepared for round 3? And this is in round 2. Oh! Cyril Gane closes the show. I love how they're like, Laura Senko replaces Joe Rogan. Like, if I go to like my MSNBC work browser, it'll be like that clickbait stories, and it'll be like, Laura Senko replaces Joe Rogan. And it's like, you know what? Y'all can take this one. Just take it. Yeah, you're right, because Joe's bad. He's a Trump-supporting Nazi, and we're replacing him with a woman. And you know what? You go, girl. You're right.
I'm surprised they're letting
Joe. Boo Joe. Yeah, you're right. Joe got his job taken by a woman. Boo Joe. It's like
the
Joe hasn't done a fucking international card in
5 years at least. And then
6.
The crown prince to Dana White is like, and we will not have to hear her in the stadium, correct? Mm-hmm. We will not have her playing over a loudspeaker. We do not.
No, they're like everybody about like they got the same girl from the New York Times with her thick rim glasses. Okay, so Mr. Sheik, everybody about the Riyadh Comedy Festival, they were kind of saying like, oh, they don't let women on stage, they don't let women do. So what we're thinking is, rather than Paul Felder, we bring in Laura Sanko, and then that way it'll be kind of like, she's replacing Joe Rogan, the legend,
the most masculine man in the world.
So what? It's gonna be DC, Laura, Anik.
You would have to think it's Anik. I swear.
I like it, baby, and especially if they get freaky like they do on the weigh-in show. DC maybe he's like saying stuff about Laura. He's like, Laura's got her toes out. Everybody, oh, I wish you could see these toes. So stuff like that. Freaky DC stuff. But
yeah,
it'll be professional. It'll be professional. Now let Laura interview them. Then you're really talking. And it's like, guys, we're happy. Like, hey, Laura, you go, girl. We're happy. I like Laura Sanko's commentary.
I think she's a great commentator. I ironically enough, I have no complaints about Laura Sanko's commentary ability. Sometimes when she's in there, they can get a little too goofy, which I don't like. I like a straight and forward broadcast.
Oh, nobody gets more goofy than fucking Felder and Bisping.
Oh my gosh, those guys, and it's because they still look at Rogies as their North Star, and he's in there, he's getting kooky. He's been getting kooky in there a lot lately. DC's eating the popcorn. They're like, what's my thing? What's my thing going to be? Steel Muay Thai cups is taken. Damn.
No, I don't like the unprofessionalism. And, the unprofessionalism is there for like the Joe Rogan ice bucket thing, or like they're bringing out Kyle Nelson for round 2 thing. You know what I mean? That's when you can go, all right, hold the phone here. There's something, you know what I mean? Like, but to do it like they're doing it, like,
we need one straight man. We need one straight man. We need one Goldie in the mix.
And Manic Anik ain't it. You need Brendan Fitzgerald.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see him on the weigh-in show just to watch him unhinge. He's unraveling at the seams right before our very eyes. Him and his kooky fucking brother. They're psychos. And they've got some darkness behind
them. They remind me of the D'Elia brothers.
Oh yeah. They've got some darkness behind their eyes. Nepo baby, weirdo.
They're Nepo babies?
I'm pretty well, I know at least John Anik's brother getting jobs with fucking, all these other fighting organizations to do John Anik's job for these other organizations. It's like a Billy and Bruce Buffer situation.
Yeah, I wouldn't let you get shit. I'd be like, you don't want to hire him. No. This is my thing.
And that's why I would trademark Let's Get Ready to Rumble before you even had the fucking brain cells to do it.
You don't know nothing about LegalZoom. I have trademarks on shit that would make your head spin.
Men age like wine, women age like milk. I swear if you do, I'll go nuts.
No. I mostly own actually domain names.
Like what?
I can't say on the show. It's bad. Okay, so we love you guys. I'm taking Cyril Gane, and like I said, I just personally think like it ain't gonna go down like the Jones Gane fight. It's gonna be a whole different ball game. It's gonna get extended into later rounds. Cyril's gonna knock him the fuck out. Simple as that. Cyril Gane knocks him out. Cyril Gane by knockout. And that's my opinion. So let's go through the full picks top to bottom. And do it. Hold on, I gotta get them all organized here.
All right. Evanorum Amorum.
Jacqueline Amorum. It's like a Harry Potter spell, it really is.
Yeah. I've been getting fed a lot of Harry Potter on my algo. I don't like it. I was never into that geek.
Tis the season. Halloween season is a good Harry Potter. See, Harry Potter goes through all the normal seasons of like the school year, so you can really like sync it up with a lot of holidays.
Spooky music in Harry Potter.
Yeah. It's a Halloween movie. It's also kind of a Christmas movie. There's a lot of Christmas scenes in Harry Potter, Happy Christmas, Harry.
we're not going to get into this diehard Christmas, is Harry Potter Christmas or Halloween?
Our friend Ian, never seen Die Hard. Never seen Die Hard.
Really?
He's like, I'm in McLean, Virginia. I go, yeah, it's pronounced McLean, but no worries. Like McLean, like just remember like John McClane. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, John McClane, you know who that is, right? He's like, no. I'm like, John McClane, Die Hard. He's like, yeah. I'm like, you ever see Die Hard? He's like, no. I'm like, probably should watch it. I mean,
I had somebody tell me that they've never seen Kingpin. I thought like everybody had seen Kingpin. Derek Lewis has the best chance to beat up Aspinall with his chin in the air. Voice of reason.
Aspinall's gonna get kicked in the belly. He's gonna drop his hands, and then Cyril Gane's gonna beat the shit out of him and elbow him and beat him the fuck up. Aspinall is Ricky Bobby, and Cyril Gane is Jean Girard. He's gonna say, "Now say I love crepes." Aspinall's gonna be like, "No, I won't say it. I like beans and mash and blood pudding. I like tomatoes from a can poured on top of beans, on top of a piece of bread."
Bad. Sounds horrible. Well, anyway, Devin Orm. Mitch Raposo. I'm switching to Hamdi Abdullah. Nathaniel Wood, Walter Volker, Mateus Camillo, Ludwig Klein, Jung Park, Quinlan Suckland, Salad Kid. That's how I got to remember it. Alexander Rakic, Alexander Volkov, Umar Nurmagomedov, Verna Janderober, and Tom Aspinall.
All right, and if you're rolling with me, we are going with. Sorry. If you're rolling with me, from the bottom to the top, Jacqueline Amorum. She's double P certified, but I'll get to those later. Jacqueline Amorum, Azat Maxim, Hamdi Abdelwahab, Nathaniel Wood, Walter Volker, Mateus Camillo, Ludwig Klein, Jung Park, Quinion Salkild, Alexander Rakic, Jaltin Almeida, Umar Nurmagomedov, Mackenzie Dern, Cyril Gane. And the double P certified picks are going to be Jacqueline Amorum, Hamdi Abdelwahab, Nathaniel Wood, Walter Volker, Mateus Camillo, Ludwig Klein, Jung Park, Quinion Salkild, Alexander Rakic, and that is and Umar Nurmagomedov. So, again, Jacqueline Amorum. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 double P certified picks. 10 double B certified picks. Umar Rakic, Salkild, Jung Park, Ludwig Klein, Mateus Camillo, Walter Volker, Nathaniel Wood, Hamdi Abdelwahab, and Jacqueline Amorum. Of those, the ones that I'm kind of zeroing in on, little dog shot on Nathaniel Wood, little even money shot on Mateus Camillo, little Ludwig Klein action, little Quinion Salkild action, little Rakic action, little Umar action. Those would be like my most confident of those. And then a Jung Park solo bet and a, Hamdi at those odds are leaving him the fuck off everything. But yeah, those would be, my solid ones. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Voice of Reason, Verhoofty Floofin, VCR Repairman, Andrew Kavanaugh, Dirty Reg. We got Manny R. Yeah, Nazarot did seem solid until we fucking decided not. And that's that, everybody. We love you. Thanks for joining the show. Hang out in the Discord. Guys, the Discord's been a fucking ghost town, and I'm not about to just delete it. So you want to talk during the fights, you go in the Discord. You want to message me, you go in the Patreon. But you want to I'm checking the Discord way more than the Patreon for messages, so message me in the Discord. Message me on @Triple P Certified on Instagram. Alex at Euro_King on Instagram. Get in the Discord. We'll be there 10 a.m. on Saturday Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much. We'll see you there. And
please don't ask me any dumb questions.
Hell yeah.
There you go. If you want my open bet sheet, you can access that link in the Patreon. And if you're going to join for a year. I need the money. And we love you guys. Thanks for joining the show. The full picks will be listed out in the Patreon open bet sheet. And my picks will be listed out coming off a big winning weekend. Going to take it above 1,000 this weekend and get our money back. We love you guys. Thank you.
I love the balls on my mouth.
Choose to conquer. Shout out Derek.
What'd you say?
Choose to conquer. Shout out Derek.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Choose to conquer. Shout out Derek Moneybird.
Shout out Derek Moneybird.